then to Lorenzo Bernasconi. Lorenzo, something that we often say here on the War Room is that since Angela Merkel, the centre-right chancellor in Germany, let in 1 million Syrians into Germany, that created a transformation across the European political spectrum. Back in 2015, I think Giorgia Meloni was on around 3% in the polls. Now she's on about 30%, and that has been mirrored right across. Every EU member state has the same story. You have these small parties that you get under proportional representation on 2 or 3% 10 years ago. Now they're between 25 and 30% across, and that is being driven by as an electoral response from the European peoples to this illegal third world invasion. People don't want it, and they're quite happy. You know, they might have been browbeaten 10, 15 years ago away from supporting parties that the state and the authorities were calling far right or neo-fascist or what have you. People don't care about that anymore. They know they're not fascist. They know they're not far right. They just want a political party that's going to do something serious about stopping the invasion and reversing it, the re-migration. I wonder if we'll have a moment to talk about that a little later in the show today, because these two things go hand in hand. First, stop the invasion, and then start sending people back. Tell me what your perspective is in your perch up in northern Italy. You've been watching the political transformation take place here in Italy. What do you think is going to happen to continental Europe, to the politics in continental Europe, if the Greek government is correct in its estimate, and 550,000 people are ready to disembark on European shores now that the summer trafficking season is about to start? I might add, just before you answer that question, that the United Nations itself, according to their figures, say there's something like 960,000 people in Libya waiting, potentially ready to come across. That's nearly double the figure. Tell me what you think is going to happen. What's your prognosis for European politics? Are we going to see a continuation of this trend from the hemorrhaging of support from what was once mainstream Christian democracy over to the populist, nationalist, inverted commas, far right?
Well, for sure, I expect a rise in the polls in Germany for Alternative for Deutschland, the right-wing party that has promised to put a stop to this illegal immigration. And I expect that the Rassemblement National in France can grow quite a lot as well, even if every time we have a new large wave of illegal immigration, France basically closes the border with Germany and Italy to try to prevent these people from coming in, because the French government is very open to welcoming these illegals, but not in France, in other European countries. But we have a huge problem with the European Commission, because the European Commission is pushing this idea of relocation, this idea that each European country must share the burden of illegal migration. But it's an extremely stupid approach, because if you send a message to these people, okay, you will be relocated inside Europe, but you will stay somewhere in Europe, it's the biggest pull factor you can imagine. And people in Poland or in Hungary, they travel inside Europe. They see what Paris has become, what Berlin has become, and they don't want the same situation in their countries. And in Italy, we have a right-wing government at the moment that is trying to do something to reduce the phenomenon. Of course, we are not geographically in a nice position, because we are right on the front, on the southern coast of Europe. And also, we have to live with this pressure from Brussels. I think that sometimes our American friends don't fully understand is how the European legislation impacts the capability of national governments to act. Often we have to fight legally with the European Union to uphold our right to decide how to handle a lot of issues, including immigration. Often we lose this because year after year, the European Commission has tried to concentrate more and more power inside the Brussels not elected elite, and taking this power away from the nation states and away from the people. So it's the legal framework we have at the moment is extremely unfavorable. Also, we have at the national level a problem that our courts, including the Constitutional Court, has decided that any kind of benefit, any kind of service we provide to Italian citizens, we have to provide the same to these people, even if they are not legal, like housing, healthcare. And of course, that's not sustainable. Economically, that's not sustainable because these people come here with nothing. They come here, they don't want to work. They need everything from food, housing, healthcare, and they don't contribute in any way to our economy.